Are you cheap, fast, and fake?
Would you like to 200 times your company's revenue while impacting hundreds and thousands of lives? If you do, you will love this episode as my guest did exactly that.
Hi, this is Eric here, and you're listening to
Highly Sought After. His name is Mark Leong and he's known as Asia Juice Guru. What a cool name. And his mission is to make the world a better place by first making the world a healthier place. He started with a simple juice bar, but over time, his juice bar grew into a health company that recently surpassed 8-figure revenue in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic. Forbes even named Mark the Asian who challenged the food giants. Now, if your goal is to make lots of money in your business while making a positive impact in this world, this is your episode. Prepare your fresh smoothie juice and listen to this episode right away. Okay, hi Mark. Thank you so much for making time.
Pleasure, always glad.
I got a personal question first. I've been following you for a while. I watch you on many interviews and you're always so well dressed. Is there a reason why?
Okay, great question. You are the second person that asked me this question. So going back a bit of story,
yes.
I was raised in a very average family. All right, so my parents were not like super wealthy. We are not poor. It's just okay. And I remember every time as a son in my family, the elder son, before I go out with my parents, my father would always say this to me: go back up and change your clothes. So okay. my parents are Cantonese, right?
Yes.
So my father would always say, mo pian tai sui, means don't let people look down. So I never understood, right? I was a little boy. So my mother would change me up, doll me up. The only thing missing was makeup. So, and I never understood why. But there was once it really hit me when one of our relatives said to my father, if your family cannot afford it, just don't wear it. So I overheard that conversation. And while I was naive, I was also angry. Because I didn't understand what gave that person that right to tell my father this, right? And, growing up, I was always been reminded about those words. If you can't afford it, don't wear it. And I told myself that I'm going to prove to everyone that did not look up to my family, right, that we are capable and we are able. So I think that built in me for many years about dressing up means we are successful. But I think came a stage in my life that I realized that I really don't care how people look at me. And that changed, right? And what changed is that for me, I'm still dressing up every day, right? Because I felt that it puts me into a different energy, puts me into a different mindset. And I'm all about being professional in my work. I think I put a lot of pride in what I do. Right? I cannot dress up t-shirt and shorts and go and tell people, hey, look at your nutrition, right? So for me, it's about dressing up so that I'm in that moment. That's one of the key reasons that I continue, with how I'm dressed up today. Number two is for me about respect for the people that come to me for consultation, for my time, for everything. Now, there's this saying, right? I'm not sure you heard about it. People say, don't judge the book by its cover. Do you agree with that?
Yes, of course.
You heard of that, right?
Of course,
all of us have, right?
Yeah, but we can't help it.
I say it's bullshit.
Yes.
Right? Am I allowed to use bullshit?
Absolutely.
Right? Bullshit, right? Now, if you do not know that person, how successful was the background of that person, everyone is judgmental. Everyone is judgmental. Now, then they will tell you, but Mark Zuckerberg is wearing t-shirt, Steve Jobs wearing...
But that's because the whole world know them already.
Precisely because they are already at certain stage. Before they get there, people are going to judge them, right? If they're going to speak to investors.
Exactly.
And nobody knew about their story that they dress up in the first early stages of their business as well, right? To get investors. So I disagree. I think everyone judges by the first impression. That is where it's so important that it's not only a sign of respect, it's a sign of confidence that the person is putting into you. I mean, who would go and seek consultation from a person that teach you how to be wealthy if they dress up so broke?
You know, there's a friend of mine who dressed very well. I asked him the same question. He said that, Eric, I'm dressing based on who I want to be. And and that got me like goosebumps. I was like, oh wow. He said, I want to be confident, I want to be successful, so I'm going to dress like one.
Yes.
Because once you act like one, you become one.
Yep. So I agree with you,
Thank
right?
you so
For me,
much.
these are the two reasons that has evolved over the years, but it all started with because of that big statement.
I did not know about that. So I needed to tell you this, that I feel like we have a very strong connection. Because I care a lot about dressing up.
I see.
Like, I mean, you know me as the pink guy, right?
Yeah, the pink guy.
suit. I'm going to tell you a story that you probably haven't heard before.
Okay.
That, I came from a poorer family. My dad was, now we're like competing who's poorer. Okay, so it's not a competition, okay? So we came from a family where we don't get a lot, right? I wear hand-me-downs because my dad's a taxi driver, mom's a housewife. So my cousins are a lot richer, so they wear all the branded clothes, Burberry, Armani, and I get to wear the hand-me-downs. 13 years old, mom decided to surprise me with a Burberry shirt.
Wow.
And she worked double jobs for that. And because she wanted me to fit in.
Yep.
And of course, I was very proud, right? I wear a Burberry branded shirt.
Yes.
And you know what my auntie said? She first of all, she yanked the shirt to her and then she said, look at it just to check, is it real? And then she turned and looked at my mom and said, Mimi, a real one. And my mom said, of course, real. I worked 2 jobs to get it. And you know what my auntie said to my mom?
What?
He said, poor people will always be poor. Don't try to act rich. Let your poor son wear this branded shirt. Now the branded shirt also looks fake. And I mean, it's different, but I felt that it impacted you the way it impacted me because I realized that, and my mom cried that day, you know, that night she cried. I've never heard her cry so badly. You know, the crying that is like, that kind of cry. And it broke my heart. I was 13 years old and I was hiding behind the door and I made a promise and I said that I'm going to make so much money that no one ever looked down on us. And that's the reason why wearing nice clothes is very important to me. Because of that special meaning. And I didn't know that we had that. Okay. Oh my God, I would love to hug you later. Yeah, it's like, I had no plans. I mean, I've done my research, but I didn't know about that clothes story.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, if you all are not here, okay, obviously those of you watching us on YouTube, you get to see him very well dressed. If you're watching us, listening to us on podcast, I'll describe to you. Okay, it looks like navy blue satin pants, and he has a very cream jacket, very nice. And most importantly, he had a square pocket, you know, red polka dots with a bit of black accent. And Apple Watch, I think.
Apple Watch.
Awesome. All right, so that's how he looks like. It's so cool. Very well dressed. Now, let's go on to another name that you have been given, which I thought was super cool. All right, it says there, Asia Juice Guru. AJG. How do you end up with this name? That's a very cool name.
Okay, this is gonna be a funny one.
Yay.
So So I'll come a bit about how we went into this piece of action, right? But long story short was that I was going around teaching people about, hey, you've been drinking the wrong juices. This is how you should be drinking juices. And I think one of the big things for all of us as Asians, whether you're Malaysian, Singaporean, or whatever, Southeast Asian, bottom line, right?
Yeah.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind when people talk about juicing? Very what? At night, if you're going to drink.
Very troublesome.
No, very troublesome, but very cooling, right?
Okay,
right?
yes.
Some aunties will tell you, very liang, right?
Cooling.
So for me, it's that how can we neutralize that? So I add in the ginger. So I tell people, hey, ginger help you to neutralize that so it will not become too cooling for you. So you won't drink already, you get your legs jelly, right? Or Chinese say kanen, right? So after that, every time the people around me, my clients and patients, they always say, the juice guru. Because they are like, ask the friends say, hey, what juice you drink? Wow, why your health improve? Find that juice guru. So that was how the term came up.
Juice guru.
But for me, is that now I'm going to educate the whole big society, right? And for me, was truly important. How can I establish that brand? How can I make a mark? How do we cut through the noise? And again, for all your listeners, your viewers right now, if you're an entrepreneur, right? How do we cut through the noise? Every day is a noisy world.
Noisy world about what? Like what to eat, what to drink?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of noise in the market, right? How can you stand out? So for me, is that, okay, juicing guy, boring. Right? King of juice, boring. So I just we name it Asia's Juice Guru.
Because that's what people call you anyway,
right?
already.
Yeah. So I think then that was how the name got stuck. Right? And Asia is a big thing, right? Because I wanted us to be differentiated than the Western world of juicing. So that was how Asia Juice Guru came about.
I love that.
Yeah.
So guys, pay attention to the names that people call you because one day those nicknames might end up being your brand name.
Yeah.
Okay, another question, like why juice? Because why were you so interested in juicing and that people even think that you're an expert in juicing?
Great question. 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm a person that don't take vegetables even until today. Right, I'm very picky. The only vegetable you probably see me eating or high five, okay, is lettuce in my burger.
We have a lot of similarities.
Right? So, hey, why like that? Okay, I don't know. Maybe in my childhood, I eaten bitter gourd or what. It stick in my mind that vegetables are always bitter, lah.
Yes.
But now I know it's not the case. And juicing is one way for me to get my macronutrients, right? Because we still need that nutrients.
Okay.
Right, and I'm not a person that pump supplements or pills. Right? Because I do not want to have a problem in my liver in the next 10 years down the road, right? Or my kidney. So that's why I juice. But the second key reason of what got me into juicing was when my father was diagnosed with cancer and the radiation treatment failed him. He was going on a very fast level of declining in terms of his health and he could not eat anything. So the only way to make sure that he was still able to get certain level of nutrients was by giving him juices. And not those juices that you buy from the supermarket because they are loaded with sugar and artificial colorings. So we only had to make him 80% of vegetables. Even in fact, the amount of fruits is only 10% or 20% maximum with low fructose, right? Like lemons, not even red apples. So, and I saw how my father was able to regain his energy and vitality in that short period of juicing. So that was what led me into juicing.
Got it. Now, guys, listen to the end of the episode because I've prepared some questions on, what kind of juicer should we make? What kind of food should we eat? Okay, so those of you who are into your health, which I think rightfully you should be, you really want to listen very carefully to this episode. Now, so let's talk about your business. Okay, because I know you started with a simple juice bar.
Yes.
And then right now, congratulations, you are at 8 figures.
Thank you.
Okay, that's a very big jump. So I'd love you to share with us, what were some of the lessons that you have learned? Or maybe even, let's start with mistakes first. I mean, obviously, you must have made enough mistakes for you to get to where you are.
Yes.
And to be able to tank the mistakes, right?
Yes.
Could you share with us some? Because entrepreneurs are listening to this and we all have one ambition, which is to scale our business, to grow our business. But we're stuck, right? How do you do it?
So, I'm not going to share about what I've done right, which probably I'll share some deep insights later.
Okay.
Not at a superficial level. I will share with you guys what are my mistakes. And you were very humble to say that I make some mistakes. Actually, I'm making mistakes every single day. Okay. So in entrepreneurship, please make a lot of mistakes. But one thing that I've learned, it's not about making a lot of mistakes. It's about once you make that mistake, are you making changes to those mistakes?
Ooh,
Most
nice.
people make mistake and they continue to repeat that mistake, then becomes a stupid mistake. There's a huge difference. Okay, so okay, now that is one thing, right? Continue to make a lot of mistakes. Number 2 is that if anyone were to tell you guys that as long as you are passionate, you're going to be successful. Nonsense. You have passion, you still need to drink water and eat. All right, passion alone is not enough. So I started my business because of my father.
Yes.
He was given, long story short, 6 months of lifespan by the doctor, and on the 4th month he was literally just dying of the treatment already. And after we stopped his treatment, we introduced juicing to him. That remaining 2 months or less that he had, we managed to expand his life to another 4 more years.
Gosh, wow.
So I was passionate. I say, you know what? A lot of people are probably having cancer. They don't know what to do and all that.
Yes.
And I wanted to spread the word that there is an alternative, all right, apart from chemo, all right? And the point here, is that I went out. I just said, okay, let's start the juice bar because I'm going to share with everyone we have been drinking juices the wrong way. And everyone is, the stigma thing, right? Juicing is bad. Juices are a lot of sugar. But because we are drinking the wrong thing, it's like you are just telling everyone, oh, rice is bad. Hello, just because white rice got a lot of sugar doesn't mean all rice is bad, right? You got brown rice, you got purple rice, right? So I went in there very passionate. I put in some of my savings into it.
Yes.
I had two foots. 1 foot on my corporate, 1 foot in my business. Big mistake. because I could not concentrate. Okay? So after that, I took that leap of faith. I came out full-time. The first year, we were making a revenue of negative 30,000. Negative, minus. Every month, we were just burning cash. Then, I was still passionate. I've not shared this with many people. You're going to be the first one and for all your audience, right?
Yes.
Me and my partner, we were pushing carts, fruit carts, every night in Bukit Timah Plaza. 2 a.m., we go back home, we sleep. Next morning, 5 a.m., we go to the farm. We take the fresh produce. We go all the way to the store to set up. Hard work. We were working in our business for easily 14 to 16 hours every day. But it was really frustrating, right? Because 1 cup of juice, 480. I get questions like, why today the orange is not so orange? Sometimes I don't even know how to answer that question, right? So it's like, we say customer satisfaction, customer is king. Every cup they are not happy, we replace. So I learned that, oh my God, you know what? People always say customer is king. Wrong. If you know what you're doing, forget it. If they do not want that 480, please go somewhere else, right? So it's like, it cannot. We continue like that. We are just burning every saving. And we went into debt. I was swapping my credit card. And it was just very depressing, right? You're just working so hard, making negative revenue every month. Right? And you come to the point that you're swapping card already. And I was very desperate to make sure that the business was successful. Because why? When I left my corporate role, my colleagues and one of my boss said, Mark, don't worry. After a few months' time, I'm sure you will come back. We will have a seat for you. So, for me, that was an anger in me, right?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of pride, okay? And I say, I'm not going to fail. So I continue pushing. Then that's it. Then my partner one night said, hey, if this go on, the bank that's it already, right? Credit card, we swap up. We cannot get any loans. Because if your business is not above certain figure, banks will not give you loan. Okay, that is the reality of life, at least for me. I call up some of my friends that they say, I will be there for you when you need help. And I'm very paiseh, ashamed to even ask a favor. Because in my whole life, I never asked anyone for a favor. But it was very desperate, Eric. I call up 2%. That 2% that once owed me money, they owed me money, and back then when I was very successful, right? I told them, it's okay, don't have to return me, but one day when I need help, I hope you are there for me. Okay. They tell me, Mark, I don't have money also. So, wow, it was very painful. Very painful. Down to one last good friend of mine that I love her a lot. She just passed away from cancer 3 years ago. She was the only one that said, Mark, how much you need? She loaned me 10,000. That 10,000, while I was hopeful, at the same time, I was afraid. Because I'm afraid that I cannot repay her that 10,000 back. So you know what I did with the last 10,000? I was like, okay, am I going to continue to put into my rental and my resource costs for my staff salary? Or am I going to take it somewhere to invest in some system? Or am I just going to find somebody who has made that 1 million business and tell me, what have I not done right? What can I do? I took that money. I went to a course, 3 days. That 3-day course cost me 30,000, $10,000 a day. Remaining 20,000, I swap my credit card, max. I call up the bank and say I need to extend credit line. And I know this is embarrassing thing that most people will not share, but I'm sharing with you openly because this was the level of so low that I got to, so low. And you know, it got me thinking, sidetrack a bit. All those years in my big car, few property, taking a lot of salary back, corporate role, director, VP title, all that stuff. But I realized that I'm so broke because I can't even get my remaining savings after I spent a huge amount on my father's medical bill, a huge amount of savings to have a long runway for my business. That was the turning point for me. I said, whatever this 30,000 I put in, I'm going to freaking implement it. So during that 3-day course, what did I learn by the way, that 3-day course, right?
Exactly, that you're willing to invest.
Marketing and sales. That's it. That's the only thing in that 3 days. While everyone was going around shaking hands and all that shit, I was just taking out my laptop, implementing immediately, right? And that was the beginning of how I turned my business from a negative 30,000 in that year to a positive. On top of it is a 1.3 million revenue within 9 months.
That's so beautiful.
So there were a lot of tears, a lot of hardship in that period of scaling it to 1 million. I can tell you, there are a lot of times that me and my partner, I think she's stronger than me. For me, it was like, I really want to give up at times. But for all of you that are watching, you got to remember this. Don't give up. Because sometimes it's the hardest time that you can last through that moment, right? That is the moment that will change everything. And for me, it was lasting until that difficult moments, right? Going through it, just not giving up. Yeah.
2 questions. Number one is, it's so interesting that when you're given that $10,000, which is from someone, a trusted friend of yours, it's precious money.
Yep.
You could have put it back into business, or you can pay off whatever debt you have.
Yes.
But you actually chose to invest in learning.
Yes.
That's freaking enlightening for me. Why? Like, is there a reason why you believe learning is the way to go for you?
To be honest,
Yeah.
I did not believe. But I went for the preview session, and the preview session make a lot of sense, right? Because I'm a very practical person. I don't buy into all the energy jumping thing and all that, right? So that mentor of mine today remain as my good friend. His name is John Lee, right? He said a lot of things that I realized that, oh my God, I didn't do it. So he said, you can have a damn good product or service, but if nobody knows that you exist, it's as good as you are not there.
Yep.
So, and it's as good as, I give you an analogy, right? If you have a good voice, let's say you're Madonna or Celine Dion or whoever it is, right? Or Adele. But if you have not gone out to sing to public, nobody knows you have a good voice.
That's so true.
Right? So I was investing in the best equipment, organic vegetables and all that kind of mumbo jumbo. But one thing that I did not have was a right business model. But before talk about business model, the right amount of traffic coming in. And that killed the business. So for me, it's like, okay, how can I drive traffic? How can I drive traffic, right? How can I get leads? So that was what I invested in, because I thought, okay, if I put in this money, if I can get back that 10,000, I think that's it already. As long as I ROI, then I talk about the next stage. More importantly, I can survive through that stage of paying back that 10,000 first. That was the only thing, to be honest. Right? There was no like, wow, I want to invest learning, then get all the structure. It was like, how can I make back this 10,000 in the shortest time?
That was that goal. And would you share with us, because all entrepreneurs face the same issue, right? You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, then it doesn't matter.
Yes.
So what was the ideas that you implemented, if you still remember?
Yep. So ideas, I got a whole bunch of crazy shit, right? But let me name a few big things, right?
Yes.
So one thing that I did very importantly was I took my phone with one of my good buddies back then, which eventually became one of our amazing senior person in our company right now. And we went to the farm in Kranji. Freaking hot, Saturday afternoon under the hot sun, right? We put on a tripod, just an iPhone. So I said, hey, film me. So there was no screen, there was nothing, just speaking naturally, right?
Yeah.
So we recorded that video. I said, first thing, I got to get the message out to the world, right? So I'm going to make a video. So we make that video, and that video became a video with more than 3 million views organically.
That video!
And the title was, Are You Cheap, Fast and Fake?
Are you cheap, fast, and fake?
That video was so crazy that, again, there was no expectation of making any viral videos. I'm zero in marketing, apart from that 3-day seminar that I went to. We make that video. Our team was getting tons of message. And back then, I don't have a marketing team. It was only me and my partner managing our marketing mailbox, right? Facebook was pumped with crazy thousands of messages. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to reply this, right? That changed everything. But it was still a problem because I was getting a lot of leads, a lot of inquiries, but I did not have a system.
Yeah.
So then everyone, I wanted to buy your juice. Problem. You know why? because I could not scale. I could not send juices around the world.
Yeah.
Then I realized, Tialat, I have a business model problem.
Yes, you have so much demand, but the supply cannot meet the demand.
Then, this is a problem. So me and my partner, that whole night, we could not sleep. Like, okay, we have got a good problem right now.
Yes.
Right? So, option one, we go and loan money, right? Pitch to investors, open 10,000 outlets across Singapore and Malaysia. Everywhere you go, you have all the cold pressed juices, right? That are real. But then we calculate, tialat, the return is not sexy. And a lot of headache, right? You got to manage manpower and I know the quality, how do you keep it consistent? Then we realized that, hey, so far we've been doing something amazing, which is every week we have been educating people in CCs, in different marketplace, in people invite us for talks. How can we give this education back to people? Product becomes secondary. That was the pivoting point that made all the difference in my business or in my entrepreneurship. It was a hard move, I got to tell you that. So in 2 weeks, we decided that, okay, this is going to be the next 3 months, we're going to run the juicing bar business, right? Because you don't want to compete with all those juice companies out there. And we're going to directly go into education because teaching people how to fish is more important than giving people the fish.
True that.
Right? And information back then was still lacking. So
that was in 2018, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we said, okay, let's start giving courses. That was the turning point because that was the part where we hit the bottleneck. We were hitting 1 over million, but just could not seem to break through. Right? So for any one of you guys listening here, what got you here may not get you there.
True.
Right? What formula has worked here could only probably sustain you until this journey. So that was how we went into education and we stopped the juice bar business.
Got it.
Yeah.
And what were you educating? Like, what kind of programs do you develop back then?
All right. So I was educating people about how to juice right. And I think the amazing thing here, and by the way, for everyone that's listening right here, right, this is something that has helped me change my life. Even until today, I apply it with all my team. The question is always, what do people want? Give people what they want. Then you fulfill what they need later on. What we were doing, Eric, all these years at the beginning that failed us, right, was that I believe people should know their nutrition. People should know how to be healthy. These are needs. These are not wants. People want to look great. People want to be popular. People want to be rich. So I was going around educating people how should be juicing, how you should be eating, right? My first program, when I sold my educational program, right, was $250. I could
$250 or $250? Okay.
I could not even sell one program in 2 days when I was standing in a farmer's market. I remember this in Suntec. I was standing there whole day hopeful. Right? When we got our first sale, wow, so excited. You know that kind of feeling when you had your first sale?
Yes.
Right? And we said, something is wrong. How could it be again? So we went back and tweaked the fundamental. We realized that the messaging is not addressing what people need.
What was it that you initially communicated?
How to be healthy.
How to be healthy, which is what we need, might not be what we want.
Precisely. Then we said, people are losing weight when they go through my solution, right? Why don't we name it from flabby to fit in 23 days? So, and say, you know what, let's test it out. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it don't happen, then, I figure it out again, right? And every time, so by the way, one more advice here is that everyone will tell you, you must have a good vision, you must have a good plan. It didn't work for me. I don't have a freaking 30 years of vision into a crystal ball, right? For me, it's that what makes sense now, can I implement it? Can I see result? If we see result, how can I improvise? So when we roll out from flabby to fit in 23 days, that one event changed my life. That one event, we went in, we filled up the room. It was about 200 packs. Whew. We closed, right, in that 90 minutes, 60%. At 2005, I could not sell even one packs at $250. We 10x the price point to 2005.
And 60% sign up.
Right, 60% sign up. People were rushing. I had that recording. I will show you one of these days.
Yeah, we'll put it in the video. We'll put it in the B-roll.
I kept that because that for me, when I was like pitching it in front, I was like, okay, now this is the offer. Everyone was rushing to the back, right? I could not believe it. I wanted to jump out of joy. And I remember, after that, I was quickly rushing. I had no time to be excited. My partner was, oh my God, Mark, we're short of stuff, right? We were all there. But after that moment settled down, we were sitting down. We were like, you don't have to say those words. You know that, wow, we found the recipe.
You found it, yeah.
Yeah. So coming back is that my lesson was that it's so important to understand what people are looking for, right? Positioning in terms of what they want, but you must serve what they need eventually. That will make a lot of difference, right?
So them what they want, but eventually serve them what they need.
And this applies, right? Whether it's to your products or the services that you're offering, right? Most people are promoting about the feature. People don't care about how many megapixels of your camera. Can the camera give you a beautiful memory?
This is so beautiful. And so you see, we saw the evolution, right? Started off as a one juice bar, Bukit Timah center, right? You pushing the cart. And then you realize that your biggest mistake was that you did not work on the most important thing, at least in my opinion, which is sales and marketing, right? Yes. You can have the best products, but people don't know about it. You can sell. And that got you to about 1 million, right?
Right.
With that one juice bar.
Yes.
Then after that, you one day created a video, and that video went viral because you started realizing you need to tell more about your message. And then it forces you to rethink about your business because you realize you can't scale.
True.
And that's when you decide to go into education because, rather than teaching a man how a fish, why not teach them how to fish, right?
You are right.
And then it grew.
Yes.
To the extent. But then when you were educating, you also realize that it's not about educating them on what they need, but it's about educating them on what they want first. And then embed that what they need in the message. So I got you so far, right? It's fantastic. Let's talk about COVID. How did COVID impacted your business? Back then it was still education, right?
It's still we have been in education back then. All the way is education, right? And I thought that we had a business model that was solid, all figured out, right?
Yeah.
We were making consistent revenues, and it's great, And when COVID came, I think government declared code orange back then, right?
Oh, code orange, that was in June, I think. Yeah.
But even before that, I remember COVID, I thought it's just going to be one of those incidents. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
And for the last at least 1 year, my partner has been pestering me, Mark, look at webinar, you should go online, we should digitize, right? So I took things for granted because first and foremost, I was comfortable. Number two, I thought that, I'll find time to do it, right? And this is a big mistake I did. So long story short, when COVID came and our government announced you have 48 hours for all businesses who are non-essential, you had to shut down, right? Work from home. That moment when that was announced, we panicked. I called a board meeting. I called every single person in my company, right? Because our business flow was relying on events.
Yeah.
People come into our physical premise for education, workshops, right? How to bake, how to cook, how to juice and all that, right? Consultation with my dietitians and nutritionists. So it's like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? We were totally freaked out. We look at our cash, we look at our assets. Then we were calculating what is the runway. And at that point, the worst thing was that we make a few big investments. So a lot of our cash flow has been invested. So the runway was not amazing. We're like, okay, crap, if we don't turn this around, we're going to have a problem. How long is this pandemic going to drag? Nobody knows, right? At that point, everyone's like, okay, how long are we going to be at home? So we say, okay, let's wait for another week. That another week became extension of stay home notice.
Yes.
Then, wow, we really panicked that time, really panicked. So what we did was, we said, okay, let's try go online. But Mark, you cannot run a freaking 4 hours workshop online, right? Everyone's going to fall asleep. So I said, okay, how do we compress it? So we literally compress it into a 90-minute session. We set up the first webinar. That first webinar, I didn't have any expectation. I just hoped that at least, we could have a handful of sales. Turns out that webinar, we had 20% of conversions. Right,
Beautiful.
So if we have 100 people attending, there were 20 people that bought it. But back then, we did not have 100 people. The first webinar, we had about 40 people, right? And there was about 8 of them that bought. Wow, and that was the same moment that reminded me many years ago.
Where people rushed
I was like, wow, yeah, we did it, right? So some of my team was like, Mark, do you think maybe there's luck? It's like, okay, maybe,
Yeah.
So let's test another week,
Yes.
right? So we didn't pump up the budget in the marketing. Say, okay, keep it that way. Boom, the same thing again.
20%.
Yes. Then after that, it's like, okay, let's whack the third round, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's take the risk. Let's put in more money, right? I want the workshop to come in. We have at least 300 people on. That event, the third event, we had close to 400 people that signed up for the webinar. It was 50% conversion.
Beautiful. Oh my God.
And we were like, my God. So for me, that was the really important turning point for my business. We pivoted at the moment of crisis, not before the crisis, at the moment of crisis. And again, it was out of desperate measure, right? So one of the thing for me that I've learned through that COVID pandemic was that we have to adapt or you die as a business. You cannot hope or everything go back to normal. If we would have hope, I think today I would not be here having the interview. I'll probably be wind down already, right? Number two, then we also realized that our business model was incorrect. What is the important thing that allowed us to grow exponentially, right, in times of crisis? I mean, blessings to all the, people who have supported us and thank those forces that have, blessed us, right?
Yeah.
I realized one thing that we did right. Eric, you know what is that? Cash flow. So for every entrepreneur here, whether you're a startup or you're a SME, right, never forget the importance of cash flow. So back then when we were offering our program at $5,000, we were giving people installment plan up to 24 months. What we did during the pandemic was that we changed the price point to $2,500, okay? Provided you pay cash immediately now. I give you these savings, right? And although we've cut the revenue by half,
But you get the cash up front.
I get the cash up front.
Yeah.
So I learned that, my God, cash flow is king. Cash flow is king.
Yeah, there's a very popular saying that if revenue is vanity,
Yes.
cash flow is necessity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only we were very strong, we were doing super well during the pandemic because of how we went digital, but also because the change of the model where we got a strong cash flow, it allowed us to play the game longer. Because end of the day, it's also who is in the game longer, right?
True.
If your competitors all die out and you're still standing strong there, then you
get
are
the
the
market.
leader already.
Yeah.
You are in the market leader, right?
But what were you selling back then? Was it still the flabby to fitty in 23 days?
Flabby to fitty, we make a lot of amendments to our education program, right? A lot of, I would say, evolution to constantly tweak, right? So we tweak how we can allow people to achieve results faster, right? We tweak how could I present better? You can be a very good person that goes on stage and make people cry and standing ovation, but that doesn't mean you can close.
Yes.
Right? So as an entrepreneur, if you can't close, don't do business. Because your every day is to make sure you can close. Because if you can't close, that's it, you're game over. So we were fine-tuning my entire presentation. Every step of the way is all about closing. Right? So yeah, there was a lot of things that we make in these tweaks that people don't see.
And I remember that, with all the cash flow that you got, right, it kept not only did it keep your business afloat, but, you shared with me that with that cash flow, you were able to grow the business further, right?
Yes.
What were some things that you did that other people, people are struggling, but you were growing? What were you doing?
All right. So understand that if you think that the first million is your hardest, the first million is the easiest, right? You just got to make sure you have a compelling offer solving a big problem. Most people are not solving problem, right? So now after you hit that first million, the next milestone is how do you hit 5 million? So there are a few things here that apart from, I'm going to name these few things that has worked for me.
Okay.
Right. Number one is cash flow. First thing, you got to have a very strong cash flow in your business. Remember, like what you said, right? Top line is vanity.
Yeah.
No point you're having a lot of likes, how many thousand million views, but it doesn't convert anything, is useless, right?
Yep.
Cash flow is king. Are you having cash in hand? Number two is about having an automated solution funnel, some people will call it. I call it an automated system.
Like a sales process.
Yeah, it's a sales process, right? How do we calculate the client's lifetime value? You don't see it as selling a toothpaste. You see it as if the person needs to brush his or her teeth every day for the whole year. How can you multiply that amount so that you are building a process to support that subscription base of the toothpaste?
In other words, how do you make sure that a customer spend more with you?
Precisely, right?
In an automated way.
Yes, you are absolutely right. So number 2 was really looking at the whole business model, making sure that we have an automated system. Third thing was resources, people. For me, was that after the 1 million to 5 to 10, it all starts with people. Do we have the right people? Do we have the best people? So without that, you're not going to be able to scale alone. All right. So we invested a lot on people. How do we hire people? Right? Because we spend a lot of time asking questions that are not giving you that people that you want. For example, most people, when you come for interview, they will ask you, so are you willing to work hard?
Of course, my answer is yes.
Of course, right? I'll work hard. I'll slog for you.
Yeah, that's
right. What do you think you're good at? I'm good at this, right? But in reality, that may not be the case. So we learned that actually we are asking the wrong questions to qualify people. The question you should be asking is the past history. What have they done? Right? So I'll go into that another day, right?
Yes,
but
of course.
Asking very important questions of what they have done, that will allow you to assess, have they done it all?
Right? And then to find the right
person, right? So we make big mistakes on hiring fast and hiring the wrong people. But that was what we did, right? Investing in how can we grow a team of A players. The fourth thing, the most important thing was spending and investing a lot in marketing. That's it, right? So these are the 4 things that we did, right? That allow us to scale.
When you say marketing, like what do you mean? Like what? Run more ads or build your brand or get yourself more on papers? To you, what's marketing?
Okay, so for me, what is marketing is 2 things, right? So in the marketing bucket, one, we set a very clear budget every year. How much are we investing in myself as the founder and as well as my team for learning and development?
Very nice, personal development.
So again, right, you don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you have not gone through. So that's where I met a lot of fakes, okay, a lot of fake gurus, but also there are many good ones, right? So never stop investing in learning. So we were learning that, wow, there are so many things in marketing that I'm not aware of, right? And the world continue to evolve so fast. Are we riding the wave? Are we on top of things? Or are we running a dinosaur age of marketing? Understand that marketing has basic fundamentals that will never change. Understanding the human psychology. Understanding what platform to use is a separate thing. Right? So we invested a lot on self-development. Second thing that we invested on was how to scale our ads. If you knew that today, right, you put in $1, you can make back 110, will you put in everything?
Yeah, 110. Right? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
whatever you have, you put in, right? Yeah. Because a lot of times people are like, don't put in so much in marketing. That is because you have not found how you could monetize or how your $1 you can make back even if it's 10 cents. And that's the problem you are afraid of putting in.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, that was the part on marketing that we invested on. So we were testing different platforms. We were running affiliates. We were doing a lot of things, right? So for me, that was the 4 very important things that we have did right. But we failed. We did a lot of mistakes in that short period of the last 2 years as well. But by refining it, all these details allowed us to scale a few 100%, right? We were doing better. I repeat, we are doing better than before COVID with the less resources and with the less investment.
This is beautiful, man. If you guys are not taking notes, let me help you summarize, right? We'll let Mark rest a little bit, before we move to the last segment. Number 1, right, very important is your cash flow, right? Number 2 is making sure you have an automated sales process. And a lot of us have a sales process, but it's probably not digitalized and it's not automated. Therefore, we cannot predict how much sales we can come in, right?
Yes.
And then the third one you talk about is talent. And talent has a lot to do with asking the right questions so that you find the real people. Because these days, people are very good at acing interviews, but they might not be very, very good, you know? And then the last one, it's actually 2 parts. Part 1 is investing in yourself and your team. I think he is a great boss, man. He didn't just invest in himself, he invested in his team. So make sure you're in a company that has growth mindset, right? Wanting to continue to develop. And the last part is always looking at new ways to do marketing. And there's a lot of new technology out there. Are you using them? Are you embracing them? Wow, this is so good. Thank you so much. I mean, I thought today is going to be about health, but I pick up so much about your business acumen, and the turning point was that you invested in learning. I really felt that moment where you had the only 10K and you could have done many things to it. You could have just put back in an old business model, which will actually waste that 10K. You invested in picking the brains of a guru, and you got yourself the results.
And Eric, thanks for summarizing this beautifully, right? And I think for me, the learning point here is also, often in the past, I always wanted to wait for that perfect moment to execute something. But I realized that it is the fast action or execution that eventually will get us results. At least from my humble, opinion of building my business, right?
And
from
it's a pattern.
Nothing, right?
Yeah.
To a 8-figure, very blessed. So people always ask me, Mark, what do you have? All that kind of stuff. I'm not the smartest. But one thing I tell people, I am the fastest.
Nice.
Right? We implement things. Do we create a lot of mistakes in the implementing? Of course. Right? Do we get angry, frustrated, disappointed, embarrassed? Of course. But it is these moments that allow us to know what is working and what is not.
Because as long as you learn fast,
precisely,
then you're fine.
Right? So I think a lot of people also pay a lot to go for seminars and sign up this and that, right? But the question is, how many % of us are actually implementing? Right? You don't need to implement all the 10 things you learn in that one day or whatever. You implement one thing. Most people are not. That's what I see. And it doesn't matter whether it's a 997 course or it's a 30,000 course, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
100%. That's why there's a saying, right? If knowledge is truly power, then all of us will be billionaires with 6-pack abs.
You're right.
Right?
You're
So
right, yeah.
this is so on point. Thank you so much. Now, we're not done yet. Huh? Let's talk about, enough about business. Let's talk about your mission. I will never forget the line that you said in that viral video, that my mission is to make the world a better place. And by how I do it, by making the world a healthier place. Beautiful. So what are some of the cool projects you're working on right now to forward this mission besides the education?
So one of the big things that we are doing now is that on the Farms Asia, our group, we are on a mission to touch 1 million lives by 2025.
Doable.
Yep. So I think that is really, really important mission, right? And on my personal mission, for me is about seeing schools in 2 countries, in Singapore and Malaysia as a start, to have a garden that is grown with food by the children, for the children, and served to them in the canteen.
Wow.
Right? And hopefully putting in certain level of nutrition in a fun way in their education or their co-curriculum, right? Not just telling us, hey, you need your vitamins, eat more veg, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would run away if anyone would tell me about that. So that is the mission that we are on for me.
That's so beautiful, edible gardens. Is there any schools right now in Singapore? I don't, only if you're allowed to share, but is schools open to this idea here in Singapore?
Yes, I think more and more schools are open to that idea,
Okay.
which we are very grateful to, some of those headmasters and teachers and parents who supported it. So yes, but it's taking some mountain to move.
Of course, because you're changing a lot of the old thinking, and I mean, that's not a natural way of education, right? A lot of
Yes.
times. Well, wish you all the best with that. I know you're launching a book as well. Tell us more about that book.
All right, so I'm really excited. But
Yes.
I told you I'm going to invite you for the book launch.
I'm looking for it.
Right.
Yes.
So in March 2022, I'll be launching the book called Are You Cheap, Fast and Thick? Right.
I love that name.
More importantly is that book allows you to apply a method called the Fukugen method. Have you discovered Fukugen method before?
Fukugen?
Yes.
It's a cute word. What does it mean?
So Fukugen in Japanese means restoration.
Okay.
And I believe fundamentally all of us should have energy levels that we once enjoyed in our teens.
Oh, tell me
Right?
about it.
Especially as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Every day we need energy.
We
right?
need energy.
So most people rely on coffee at 12 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Then
Yes.
after they take another one at 4
6
o'clock,
cups
right?
of coffee.
So,
Yeah.
so I found a way how I could basically pass on my methods in the Fukugen approach, right, to people that wants energy in their life, right? Because our career evolves around energy.
True.
Your relationship evolves around energy,
True.
right? Your life evolves around energy. Everything is about energy. So that is why I'm so looking forward to share this amazing brand new method that I've developed, because I believe it will make a huge difference for any of us, right? Above the age of 30, 40, 50, 60, and you want to live life not at your lowest point, pumping coffee or any pills to get that sudden high, but sustainable and throughout.
Well said.
Yeah.
And I mean, we won't want to spoil the fun and the surprise, right? But would you say what's some of the worst advice you have ever heard so far today, right? By other food gurus, air quote, that we should really stop listening to if we want to really have a more energy and a better health for ourselves.
All right, thank you. So first and foremost, we are a company that is made of medical doctors, dietitians, food scientists, and myself as well, right? So one of the worst advice over the years, and I'm seeing more and more of it, is that when someone tells you to go on keto diet, okay, that is the worst form of advice. Now, why?
First of all, this is so sensitive because I have a lot of friends who are into keto. So, so guys, listen up, okay?
Right.
Expert talking. Come,
So
tell us.
now the thing is this, right? People ask me all the time, Mark, if I go on keto diet, can I lose weight? If I do this, can I lose weight? Most of the diets that you go on, yes, you can lose weight. But for me, the question is always, what happens when you stop the diet?
Is
Is it sustainable? Right? Then that is where people get frustrated. I'm speaking from my experience, not only on theory of my scientific background, right? Most people get frustrated because they lose 2 kg. The moment they stop that diet, they gain 5 kg. Right? Then you're like, oh, okay.
That's the kind of ROI we don't want.
And then every half yearly, you got to set that kind of goal. Why
Yes.
would you want to put yourself through that pain?
Yeah.
Right? And why do you have to restrict yourself on, I need to cut away my carbs? So let's come back to the scientific understanding, right? Why I don't support keto diet? Because A, it's not sustainable. B, it has a side effect. Most people now have been told, pump up your fats, increase your protein, right? Cut away your carbs.
Yes.
You're going to damage your kidneys. And if a person that has a tendency of high cholesterol or fatty liver, good luck. That 3 months of keto diet, the next 6 months, you're going to see a doctor, you're going to put you on medication, right? So for me, it's ridiculous. Is there a better way to achieve that? Yes. But perhaps it's not going to achieve your weight loss in a shorter period, but it's over a slightly longer period. But if you ask me, is it worth it? Yes. So that's why I don't support keto diet. And people misunderstand. It's not about cutting away carbs to lose weight. In fact, we all need carbs to function. Carbs is what? Glucose in your bloodstream that gives you energy. Have you ever tried cutting away all your carbs and then you start to feel what? Lethargic,
Yes.
moody, fatigue, right? You get angry because you cut away that component that's so important to our brain and energy. So it's not about, cut away this nutrient or what. We all need a balanced nutrient, right? But what is it that makes people put on weight? It's about calories. People overeat more than what they're supposed to. So all you got to watch out is cut down on the volume that you are eating. You're not working in a construction, right? So why do you have to eat so much, right? Oh, Mark, I'm hungry. You are mentally hungry. You're not physically hungry, right? Means you're not feeding your body the right nutrient. That's why you're always having the hunger alert. Fix that problem, right? Try drinking 80% of vegetable juice or eating a bowl of salad, although I don't eat salad, Tell me if you're going to be hungry, you're going to feel full. Right? Are you drinking enough water? The answer is no, no, no. That's why you are always down on this path.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Wait. Okay, you just like this enlightened man. Just say a few words. Everybody's like, every single word is important. Okay, you just said a few things. So number one, a lot of us are not hungry. A lot of us are just dehydrated. We're not drinking enough water.
Yes.
So that's one. Number two is that the reason why we're hungry is because we're not eating the right food. And so our body's not getting the right nutrients.
Not having the right fuel. Yes.
Not having the right fuel.
Yes.
Okay, so without spoiling the fun, right? Can you just give us some tips? Like really hardcore, tangible tips. What should we eat more of? What should we eat less of so that we can have more energy?
Okay. So more energy, maintain a healthy weight for your BMI.
Yes.
Right? Or if in the event anyone here that is listening or watching this, you want to I want to lose weight, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a few powerful tips that I charge my patients a few $1,000s,
Yay,
right?
thank you.
So now, first and foremost, everything I teach you guys is all tested, proven, backed by science, and they are simple stuff. Never try to overcomplicate things. Same thing in your health, your business. The moment you overcomplicate things, you forget about fundamental. That is your dead point, right? Number one, always make sure that you are sufficiently nourished. All right. So how do I sufficiently nourish myself? An adult above the age of 16, I consider as an adult, you need minimum 5 kg of vegetable and fruits each day.
5 kg?
Yes. First thing that comes to your mind, some of you will probably be saying, Mark, crazy, think I'm a goat. How can I eat so much, right? Precisely. You are not a goat, even a vegetarian can't. And that's why people nowadays are more obese than ever, more cancer rate than ever. But Eric, think back. Back then when our parents' time, our ancestors' time, do you agree that they eat lesser meat than us now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We are not short of food. In fact, we have like so many options, right?
Yeah.
So we are undernourished. Remember, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So, by the way, this 5 kg is not from Mark Leong. This 5 kg is from Harvard Medical, Johns Hopkins Hospital, right? All the top world-class medicine universities have studied it. So, first of all, if you can't eat so much, what do? You drink.
Yeah.
But you cannot drink fruit juice. You cannot drink that kind of rubbish in the supermarket boxes, right? You drink 80-20 juice. Write this down. 80-20 juice. What is 80-20? 80% vegetable, 20% fruits. Then you have your macronutrients covered in that day. That's what I do, right? People ask me, what multivites? No, I don't buy any nonsense, right? I eat 80% greens, 20% fruits.
So you just juice them 5 kg of it?
Yes. So I make sure that every day I have my nutrient box tick. Number 2, eating before 6 p.m. That is the key, right? Mark, I eat only once a day, but I'm still overweight. Hello, you order a whole Happy Meal, all right, or super value meal, and you eat at 11:59 p.m. You go to bed at 1 a.m.
My team is laughing right now. You see?
Yeah.
They're all laughing.
And then you are saying that I'm on diet, I eat once a day, and yet because there is the body metabolism rate that change with age. You cannot have the same metabolism rate when you are at 16 versus when you are at 40, right? You got to acknowledge that, right? Yes. So yes, in the past, you may be able to burn that food that you are eating, right? Younger influencers tell me, we tell the influencer tell you when they're at 50. Everyone faces a different body evolution, right? Some is pre-menopause, and I can go on and on. Long story short, eat before 6 p.m. Why? So that your body has enough time to digest the food so that it doesn't get stored as excess fat. Secondly, why is this important? When we are sleeping, our body is actually still working, but it's working at a very slow mode. Eric, do you want to know how I wake up in the morning and I feel energized?
Yes, please tell me.
Because I eat early. That's the thing. Because when you are having a full stomach going to bed, the body is processing. That's why next morning when you wake up, you are tired.
Because your body's working.
It's working, trying to break down that piece of steak, right? Now, so try again. You can immediately, I promise you this, you can immediately feel the difference in just 2 days. Have your dinner before 6 p.m., right? Tell me how you feel the next morning when you wake up. I bet with you will feel so different. You'll feel amazing, your energy level. So early dinner, it's important.
6 p.m.
Right? And the last thing, the third thing, that's it, is about moving. move. I'm not talking about exercise because a lot of us don't enjoy exercise, right? So you don't have to force yourself to sign up for expensive gym memberships and just to show the world that you exercise, right? Move, right? Take more steps, walking around, do anything. Just make sure that you're not sitting in 8 hours in office. I have a standing desk, right? So every few hours, I'll just stand up because it gives me great energy, but at the same time, my body is moving, right? And that's why I still wear an Apple Watch, not any Rolex or Hublot or whatever, not because I can't afford, because I want to monitor, have I achieved
Your 10,000 steps.
my 10,000 steps in a day, right? Because this is important. When we hold ourselves accountable, not relying on some motivation, inspiration, oh, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, but anything that can't be measured, can't be improved. So I apply the same theory in my business and in my life, right? Because you cannot do so well in your life, but you suck in business, or you cannot do so well in your business, but you suck in life.
Yeah.
It's only if you don't apply the same thing, then you suck at both things.
Yeah.
Right? That's all.
And without good health, you have nothing. Even you have good business, the business will fail eventually.
Precisely.
And this is so good. Wow, guys, today's episode is really double boosting of your health. Okay, you get health tips and you get business tips. So if you guys have gotten a lot of value from today, the best way to thank Mark is to go check out his books, right? Because, Mark has a mission, remember? He wants to impact 1 million lives. Why not that 1 million, one of them be you? So go read his books, go implement the things he teach. There are 2 books right now on the table. One is From Flabby to Fitty in 23 days, so crying out loud. This is cool. Those of you got a bit of flabby abs, and I don't even call it abs, flaps, right? I think this will be a great book. So that's one book. By the way, I just want to show you guys, if you're on a camera, you can see it's very beautiful, right? It's a beautiful book that actually gives you oh my God. Oh, okay. So let me share. Those of you listening on podcast, so I'm just random. He has actually give you one called breakfast juice, which is your day 3 juice. And then I guess lunchtime you have a blood sugar killer, and everything is there. So you don't even need to think about what kind of juice you need. Just follow the recipes over here. So I'm definitely. Where can we get this book?
You all can go to Kinokuniya, Times Bookstore. It's on Amazon. So these are the places you can go. It's also available in the Singapore National Library. So everything
beautiful.
here is not by a copywriter, ghostwriter. Everything here is everything that I've eaten and drink my entire life when I was 95 kg back then, bringing it down to 65 kg. So these are the same things that I've eaten, when I was going through a body transformation.
Oh, this is beautiful. So 50 amazing recipes, guys, healthy recipes. And then the second book is Pain Relief, Your Guide to Practical Knee Pain Solution, written by Mark Leong and Dr. Terence Tan. Would you like to tell us more about this book?
Yeah, so this is an incredible project that I did with Dr. Terence Tan this year. And this is to basically help any one of you, or if you have elderly parents at home who are suffering from knee pain, right? And they have been told that they have to go for knee replacement surgery, and it's scary, right?
Yeah.
Because it costs a lot of money, but at the same time, the recovery process and everything in your life will change. So what are things that you can do to prevent yourself from going for that surgery? Or if you are at the point of supposed to go for surgery, how can you save your knees, right? So this book contains techniques from physios, ingredients to heal your damaged knees, food that you should not be eating because it's causing more pain as it increases the inflammation in your body. So this is what this book is all about, which is really important as we see that more and more people wants to enjoy the active lifestyle, but and maybe you're suffering from already a lot of pain, and it makes no sense for you to exercise, because what you're going to do if you do the wrong exercise, you are further damaging your knees, and it can be very, very dangerous.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Now, one more thing. You have a course. How do we go for your preview? How do we listen to your webinar? Is there a place that we can go?
Yes. So I want to do this. I've never done this for anyone. I want to do this for you, Eric, because I believe in what you're doing, and I really love you as a person. Your energy is so real. Before this show, most people before the show they are one person. After the show they are another person. But this guy is the same person, right? So I'm going to do this for everyone that is watching this interview right now, or you're listening to it on podcast, right? So I'm going to sponsor you my amazing club membership, right? At www.markleong.club. I repeat, www.markleong.club. I'm going to sponsor you all for 1 month, 4 weeks.
Yay.
Every week, I have contents put up there live. All right, it's a show. On top of it, we have amazing contents. For example, if you guys do take soy sauce at home, do you?
Yeah,
All of us do, right?
Chinese, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know that most of the soy sauce that you buy out there, instead of going through a 1-year fermentation, it goes through a 3 years fermentation because it's made out of bleach. So there are incredible contents out there. How do you even pick an egg? Should you buy those artisan organic free range egg? No, you're wasting your money. Right. So what are the eggs that you should be picking? So all of this very important information that is going to improve your energy levels, improve the way how you look and feel. It's in the markleong.club. Right. After that 1 month, if you guys love it, you can continue with the subscription. If you don't love it, you can cancel anytime. No hassle for your crowd that is watching here.
Thank you
free,
so much.
right? Enjoy the amazing contents in there. And that's how we have also been doing a lot of announcement on our mission trips to schools,
Or to farms.
where we build edible gardens. And next year, we're actually going to Cambodia, building a school to provide education to more than 300 children. So look out for all
so
these
meaningful.
announcements in my markleong.club.
Got it, markleong.club. I'll be the first to join, man.
Thank
you so much. I really appreciate this. I wish you all the best in your mission. And let's keep in touch, okay? See you in March for your book launch.
Yes.
High five.
High five, man. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Awesome. So guys, this is Mark Leong, and I hope you guys have found tremendous amount of value in his sharing. I think I was very, very impacted right at the beginning where he shared about his backstory. I felt like there was this common connection. But really my biggest takeaway from him was that 5 points that he mentioned about how to build a business, from $0 all the way to 8 figures. I do not know if you've been taking notes, but this was one thing that really had a huge impact on me. Number one, make sure that you build a business that gives you continuous cash flow, so it keeps your business going. Number two, make sure you have a sales process that's automated preferably. And then number three, people, talents are very important. Ask the right questions, get the right people in. You do not have to do everything yourself. That you can't scale a business when you're stuck in that business. And number four, invest in personal development. Keep growing, because I always believe that everything in life is for that one purpose, which is for your growth. Even a business is there so that you can grow. And when you grow, everything else grows along with it, especially your business. And finally, constantly look out for the latest marketing technologies and invest in marketing, because you can have the best products or services in the world, but if people do not know about it, then it really doesn't matter. So go listen to the interview again, get all the business tips in the front end of the interview, get all the health tips at the back end of the interview. I tell you, 2021 or 2022 will be a fantastic year for you just by listening to this interview. I'll see you guys at the next interview. We do this every week. If you love it, remember to hit the subscribe button, switch on the bell notification, and I'll see you at our next video interview.